Hello. Welcome to the March 15th edition of Success by Association Live. Today's issue is sponsored by two AENC President's Club members, Visit Mooresville and Visit Greenville, North Carolina. We thank them for their continued support of AENC. Today's article is written by Andorra Hinton with Willow North Growth Partners, who was the moderator of the CEO Power Panel at the 2023 AENC Winter Conference. The article is titled, A CEO's Best Advice, and is reprinted with permission. A CEO's job can be challenging, rewarding, frustrating, exhausting, and exciting all at once. The many decisions around hiring, best go-forward solutions for the organization, innovations, and how to retain talent in a world that has many challenges during interesting and changing times can make it so a CEO struggles with what should be the top priority, especially when it's all top priority. During the AENC Winter Conference, I had the great pleasure of not only moderating the CEO Power Panel, but I also had the opportunity to get to know a little more about each of these CEOs as people, not CEOs. I got to know about their adventures, their families, their hobbies, their backgrounds, their love for great foods, and their passions. As a fellow CEO, the beautiful thing about those things is that as a CEO, we have to find ways to balance out our lives so we can be prepared to fully give in such a demanding role. I loved hearing stories about their hobbies and what helps them with managing their stress from day to day. As I moderated the panel, I, along with many other AENC members and guests, learned a lot about each person and also about some of the most exciting and challenging things they currently face in their roles. At the end of the panel discussion, my last question to them was to offer up their best advice, and so we won't forget, here are the 8 elements the panel shared as their best advice. 1. Practice perseverance. In 2022, 89% of people experienced burnout in some form. This high number proves that people are giving a lot to work and challenged with finding the appropriate balance and boundaries to keep them grounded. As a CEO, there are many external factors that may prohibit us to control the situation, and that can be frustrating. This advice, practice perseverance, from Adam Levy, CEO of American Cleft Palate Craniofacial Association, means to push through the hard challenges. However, in a world filled with burnout right now, practicing perseverance doesn't mean that we have to do it alone. Adam talked about how important it was to use perseverance to navigate through politics and relationships. The beauty of perseverance is that mentally, we can tell ourselves that we can push through. We have the mental capacity to keep going, but it also means that we can bring along the people who are stronger, smarter, highly skilled, more available, and who also share a high regard for perseverance to help us get through. Yes, during these times, it's important to persevere, but we should also recognize that it doesn't need to be done alone. Number 2, fail forward. Adam shared, if you're going to fail early. Henry Ford said failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. We often think of failure as a negative. Many people struggle with failing because they see it as a lack of success or the inability to actually meet a goal or expectation. One of my favorite stories of failure is of J.K. Rowling, author of Harry Potter. She was rejected 12 times before she ever received a yes from a publisher. Many of us may have given up after the 3rd try, but she didn't. We see several people in this world who have made it, but we never really know the story behind them making it. What sacrifices did they make? How many new connections did they have to find? How many times did they have to write or rewrite? How many ideas did they go through before getting to one that they felt would stick? Failure is about learning. When we think about the term lessons learned, we can connect that to failure. A lesson learned happens because there was something that didn't work, but we learned from it. Failure isn't a negative, it's a necessity. Number 3, practice empathy. As a leader, empathy is an amazing quality to have because dealing with people who have a need for trust and connection, they are able to feel this connection through empathy. I have heard some people say they lack empathy. The great thing about empathy is that if you don't possess it, you can actually practice it. Alyssa Barkley, CEO of NC Optometric Society, shared that sometimes we can get lost in the task and managing the do's. Practicing empathy helps us to connect with people, even when all of those things are happening. Here are a couple of actions you can take to practice empathy. 1. Listen. These days, with distractions like our phones and laptops, listening can be a huge challenge. Let's remember when you are talking, you want to be heard and validated. That means that someone else does too. 2. Appreciate differences. Appreciating differences helps us to learn from others' differences rather than thinking about it from a perspective of that's not me or that's not like me. As a leader, identifying and appreciating differences helps you to recognize how important it is to surround yourself with people who think differently and who can handle challenges that might be harder for you so you won't have to. 3. Be curious. Curiosity helps with connection. Being curious allows us to better get to know people on a deeper level. We often go surface with people because we don't always have the time to go deep. But going deep means we are able to gain a better understanding of the person. 4. Stay out of judgment. When we hear another individual's point of view, we have to recognize that we are hearing it from our point of view and not theirs. Network. Networking is critical to the success of one's career. It's not always fun, but absolutely necessary. One of the things Beth Denny, Senior Account Executive Director with First Point Management Resources, shared was to meet as many people as you possibly can. See what other people are doing and learn from them. These are also people who can support you through the celebrations and tough challenges at work. Networking leads to connections. Connections lead to trusted advisors. Trusted advisors lead to friends. You never know where networking may take you. It's amazing how our networking leads us to people who do become our lifetime friends and trusted advisors. That then leads to other people being brought into our circle. It's always important to keep expanding the circle. 5. Credibility matters. Without the foundation of trust, it's challenging to keep and maintain relationships. One of Trevor Johnson, president of North Carolina Beverage Association's pieces of advice was to keep trust. Make sure you are honest with people and lead with the fact that we'll see each other again, so be honest. Once we break trust, it's very difficult to get it back, and we do lose credibility. If we want people to see us as trusted advisors, we definitely want to ensure we are focused on matching our words with our actions. This leads to credibility. 6. Be curious. Alyssa shared the following thoughts around apathy. Don't get so apathetic in your role. Always keep that curiosity and learn and bit more and be a bit better. It makes you a better person and a better leader. We get so heads down in our roles, or we have so many distractions, it's a challenge sometimes to pause and ask questions. Dig deeper, wonder, challenge, or even seek to understand. Curiosity leads to a deeper understanding when we're confused. Curiosity leads to stronger connections because it shows we're interested. Curiosity helps us to learn something new. Curiosity helps us to expand our thinking. Curiosity can lead to a greater imagination. When we were younger, curiosity was one of our most valued characteristics. We were always wanting to know how something worked or how someone was or what we could or could not do. Let's get back to our younger selves and, as Alyssa suggested, get a bit more curious. 7. Publicly praise our people. TJ Bugbee, Executive Director of North Carolina Outdoor Advertising Association, mentioned the importance of publicly praising other people when we see they are doing something good. A lot of times we tend to think about offering people feedback that is constructive and will help people improve. However, giving people praise allows people to recognize the things they are doing well and develop a sense of pride in the work they are focused on. More and more, we are recognizing that people want to be a part of something meaningful and purposeful. Giving someone praise allows them to recognize where they fit in when it comes to meaningful work. 8. Finally, the last feedback that was given was by Adam, and it was very simple and very powerful. Be kind. We all come from different backgrounds. Just be nice to people. And I believe Adam's words say it all. Moderating the panel and learning from them was an awesome experience for me, and I'm so glad I had the opportunity to unveil some of their most valued experiences to be able to share with the AENC members. The thing I love about this advice is that it's all things that we can do, can improve, and can measure whether or not we need to make some adjustments or not. It's all up to us. Based on this advice, which piece of advice will you start today? That concludes this article. We hope you have a great rest of your day.